Hello, this is Git0422 bringing you another video. Hope you enjoy. So the first day we start with is August 24th. The first person on our list is Vyojo. His debut will be starting at 16:45 p.m. EDT, which is 4:45 p.m. Next up, we have Bub the Law, who's debuting at 2 p.m. EDT. Here's a small video showing them 8 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. EDT. But you can check them out on Twitch. Next up, we have Shirani24. They are debuting at 6 p.m. CST on Twitch. Next up, we have Ray debuting. They're debuting at 7 p.m. CST. As you can see their model here. Next up, we have Ayumi Nemaya. She is debuting at 11 p.m. GST, 10 a.m. EDT, and 2 p.m. GMT. Next up, we have Gloria Canis. They're debuting at 11 a.m. CST over on Twitch. Next up, we have Sylvanus Zlander. As you can see here, they'll be debuting at 8 p.m. EST and 5 p.m. PST. Next up, we have Chandra Viperde. Hopefully I said your name correctly. As you can see here, they debut August 24th at 10 p.m. EST. Next up, we have Moonlight. They're debuting at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, which that is 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 10 p.m. EST. Next up, we have Light. They were in my last video. Their debut got delayed to Thursday, the 24th at 3 p.m. Real quick, I want to say sorry to all the people who debuted on Thursday. As of when this video went live, I was trying to get this out on Wednesday. Once again, I want to just say sorry one more time, but let's continue on with the video. We are now on August 25th. First up, we have Akari. They debut at 5 EST to 6 EST. Next is Kiki Fuji. They debut at 3 a.m. CEST, 7 a.m. JST, 6 p.m. PDT, and 9 p.m. EST. Next up, we have Kiki. They debut at 5 p.m. CST. Next up, we have Amana Maid, Magical Girl. They debut at 6 p.m. EST. Next up, we have Lucella. They debut at 5:30 p.m. EST, 2:30 p.m. PST, and 11:30 p.m. CET. Next up, we have Chiaki. They debut at 9 p.m. GST, 8 p.m. PHT, and 5 a.m. DT. Next up, we have Harangi. They're debuting at 8 p.m. EST. Next up, Kanite Dawn. Their debut time is 5 p.m. PST. Next up, we have Saya. They debut at 12 p.m. EST. Next up, we have Andy Pandy 94. They'll be debuting at 10 a.m. CST. Next up, we have Krumini. They debut at 4 p.m. UTC plus 2, which that is 10 a.m. EST. And they do have a self-intro you can check out on their Twitter. Next up, we have Rose. They have their self-introduction here on their Twitter. Sadly, I was not able to find an exact time. Next up, we have Cleo Dragon. I was not able to find an exact time on when it is, just that it is on the 25th. Next up, we have Westul. They have their 2.0 model debut at 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. Here's a small glimpse of what you're expected to see. Next up, we have K. They are a zombie VTuber. Sadly, though, I was not able to find an exact debut time. Just that is Friday. Next up, we have Puddles. Sadly, there is no exact time for their debut, but here's what they look like. Next up, we have Oliver. They debut at 8:30 EST, 12:30 GMT. Next up, we have Kala. They'll be debuting at 1 p.m. EST and stream for 8 hours till 9 p.m. EST if you want to check her out. We have now reached Saturday, August 26th. First up, we have Bisque. Their debut is at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8, which that is 10 a.m. EST. Next up, we have Nore. They are a sheep VTuber, and here you can see her doing a duet. They currently will debut at 2 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. EST on Sunday, 6 a.m. JST. Next up, we got Fitzy Pop, debuting their 2.0 model. They are debuting at 7 p.m. CST. Next up, we have Maroi. They are having their 2.0 debut at 6 p.m. PDT and on the 27th at 10 a.m. JST. Next up, we have Chaya, the Oni VTuber. They are debuting at 2 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. CEST on Saturday. Next up, we have Alatu Nix. They are a Raven VTuber. They are debuting at 4 p.m. EST, 10 p.m. GMT on the 27th at 5 a.m. JST. Next up, we have Gimu. They are a squirrel nurse. They debut at GMT plus 8 at 9 p.m., which that is 9 a.m. EST. Next up, we have Fukurasi working on debut. Sadly though, I was not able to find an exact time. Next up, we have Tofu. They are a Navy Admiral debuting at 6 p.m. PT or 8 p.m. CT or 9 p.m. ET. Otherwise, it will be at 1 a.m. GMT or 10 a.m. JST on the 27th. Next up, we have Cavalry. They will be debuting at 10:30 p.m. UTC +8, which is 7:30 a.m. PST and 10:30 a.m. EST. Next up, we have Nishikiri Mari. They're debuting at 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. PST. Next up, we have Lilia Karako. They're debuting at 8 a.m. EST, 5 a.m. PST. Next up, we have Alaya, this Gothic princess, debuting at 9 a.m. EST or 6 a.m. PST. And next up, we have Haru. Sadly, I was not able to find an exact time, but I did come across this model. Next up, we have Maverick Artguard. They're debuting at 11 a.m. PST on Twitch. You can see them here with their wisp eye. Definitely one eye different from the other. Next up, we got Dan, a Crown Prince Dragon. Sadly, I was not able to find an exact time, but I did find him sleeping here by a tree. Next up, we have Pink Justice. They're debuting at 5 p.m. PDT with their 2.0. Next one we have up is Clara Dogford. They re-debut at 2 p.m. EST. And the last one for Saturday, August 26th, we have here is Princess Alexis. They are debuting at 5 p.m. Central European Time or 10 a.m. EST or 7 a.m. PST. So we are now on Sunday, August 27th. First up, we have Dangan, the Sea Lion VTuber. They are debuting at 7 p.m. GMT +8, which is 7 a.m. EST and 5 a.m. PST. Next up, we have Alta Moon. They are a Manta Ray VTuber. They debut at 9 a.m. EST and 3 p.m. CET. Next up, we have Jackie. They are a Lotus themed koala. They debut at 9 a.m. EST, which is 6 a.m. PST, which happens to also be their birthday and subathon start right after their debut. Next up, we have Rawat Unaro. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. They debut at 9 p.m. EDT. All we have to go off of is this preview. So yeah. Next up, we have Niu. They're debuting at 3.0. They are a succubus VTuber. They will be debuting at 12 p.m. CSTs. They'll be streaming for 6 hours on a subathon, so you can catch them then. Next up, we have Peachy Flora, the dragon VTuber. So you can see them here peeking their head. They are debuting at 7:30 p.m. CDT, which is 10:30 a.m. EST, which is Australian time. But here's a little bit more of a close-up. It is her 2.0. Next up, we have Sivala. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. You can see a glimpse of them here, but their debut is at 7:30 p.m. EST. And last up on August 27th, this Sunday, is Aki Faye. They debut their 2.0 model at 4 p.m. EST. Here we have a small preview with her having a note. And here's a small preview of her model. You can check her out more on Twitter. So we are now on August 28th, Monday. First up we have is Mateo Femboy Cat Girl. They are debuting at 12 p.m. EST, 9 a.m. PST. New models, new overlays, and much more. Next up, we have Matamama. Here, you can see a little preview of him. I was not able to find the exact time frame. He just debuts on the Monday. Next up, we have Dalston. They will be debuting at 1 p.m. CST. You can check them out on Twitch. Next up, we got Goopy. They are a jellyfish slug girl. Sadly, I was not able to find the exact time, but as you can see, a small preview of her here. Next up, we have Saradika. They are a cat snake. They are debuting their chibi model. They are the last person for Monday. They have now reached Tuesday. There's only a couple people debuting today. First up, we have Lunaria. They are a lunar princess VTuber. Sadly, there was no exact time for a debut. Next up, we have Asum Immortus. Sadly, I was not able to find an exact time for it, but hopefully you enjoy this art. You can go check them out on Twitch. Last but not least, we have reached the final day. This is going to be Wednesday, August 30th. First up, we have Pichio. They're debuting at 1 p.m. PST, their new model, along with it being their birthday. Next up, we have Marsh. They're debuting at 6 p.m. CEST over on Twitch. Next up, we have Grimini Rosaria, who's debuting on the 30th. You can see a small glimpse of her here. They'll be debuting at 2 p.m. GMT, which that is 10 a.m. EST and also 7 a.m. PST. Now next up, we have Kaisa Furry. This is going to be a double up. By double up, I mean is currently two people. First one is Kisa, which is on the 30th. Then we got a Brun Furry. They're debuting on the 31st, both at 5 p.m. on the separate days. So go check them out then. And the last VTuber of this video is Bunny. Sadly, for this last person, I was not able to find their exact time of debut during that day, but you can definitely go check out their Twitter for more information. And that is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. If I missed anyone, put in the comments down below. See you next time. So many VTubers.